Alright, so we are back and we're here to have a good time. Why don't you drop me a comment and let me know if any of this stuff helps you to kill or find a boss. Or just if you enjoy, hearing me ramble on about stuff, right? We're here today starting off in the Limgrave tunnels for the Stonedigger troll. There he is. This is actually a mine, by the way, and not tunnels, but that's okay. So he's basically one of the giant trolls that you see in the overworld, except he has that cool club, and he's made out of stone. So most of your normal R1s from normal weapons are just going to bounce off of him. He also, wow, he has absolutely massive AoE, like insane AoE. Hits the whole area in here. So you just have to dodge everything, right? He gets staggered super easy, so you can get a critical hit and that'll do a ton of damage. He's also very weak to any kind of magic stuff. He'll probably kill you just because of his AoEs, but he's not so bad. He's not such a bad guy. And next we have the Murkwater Catacombs for the Gravewarden Duelist. We show the way to get here on the map because it's not super obvious on the map. So you're coming north from the Murkwater Cave to get here. I actually died a few times on this guy because you don't fight this enemy very often. He does repeat a couple of times, but not much. And I died because he's got weird timings on some of his stuff, just like everything in Elden Ring, right? He's got a little delay. That's got a delay before it slams down on the jump, right? And then those swing around on the chains, and there's just a lot of stuff going on, okay? I played very... Oh, that jump is like so far away too. Oh my god. I played very like scared, or we'll just say patient. I was very patient in the fight because of the fact that I had died a couple of times, and because of the fact that I really just don't trust what he's gonna do at any given point. So I made sure to get my windows where I could, and I really didn't trust anything that I didn't know was a window. He buffs himself to do more physical damage or something, I think. I don't know what. Don't let him hit you, right? And it shouldn't matter. It should be fine. But also, when he buffs himself, if you're in a position to go up there and attack him and take advantage of that, that's a really good time for it. We'll get one of those here in a second, but it's a good window to get at least 2 or 3 hits in, depending on how close you are when he starts it. You just have to be prepared to dodge away. A couple of good hits, get smacked in the face, and run away. Here we have the Deathhtouched Catacombs for the Black Knife Assassin. We kill her super quickly, by the way. Spoilers. Because I just find her so annoying, right? She's so dodgy. She's so evasive. Like, she dodges everything you do. So the fact that I came in here and I found something that she didn't even try to dodge, I was like, hey, I guess we're just gonna do it, right? And there she goes, yeah. We're also very disrespectful to her, so sorry about that. Sorry. She does have pretty low health, so, that's good, right? And she can stagger pretty easily if you can get consistent hits. It's just, obviously, that's hard to do because she's dancing around all over the place. So, right, so up next is the Deathbird, and we're going to go a little bit more in depth for the Deathbird because he is pretty awful. The actual fight that you're going to see here went surprisingly well, but it's mainly just because I've fought a ton of them recently. But their attacks are so weird because they have this like just lanky, weird body that moves weird, weird. And they're especially bad if you're locked onto their head because you can lock onto the middle of their body or to their head, and their head just flies around all over the place. So your camera is going crazy. Like it's hard to see what's going on. Whatever. They have a weapon, right? So they have some very normal kind of weapon swings. They've got some delays on them to roll catch you. There's nothing surprising there. They do have, I'm going to say 5 surprising attacks to me that each one of them takes, time to get used to and to be able to kind of deal with them properly. So the first one that we're going to see is what I'm calling it's their grab attack, right? But I'm calling it the leap back scream with the grab attack. So what they do is you're fighting them, they're doing stuff, and then all of a sudden, they shoot super far back away, and they do their death scream that you're going to see. And you're like, oh, they're really far away, you're safe. And then the instant they finish doing their death scream, you want to dodge towards him because he's going to be lunging at you to grab you in his little beak and kill you. So as soon as you see the scream finishing, that's when you want to dodge to be able to punish. The next one is the actual death scream. So there's no leap back with this. He just does a standing death scream. And he's going to use this when you're like underneath him, right? Which is where you're going to be for most of the fight, unless you're a ranged character, which lucky you. It does a bunch of damage. It also does Death Blight buildup, which I think this is the first time that we see Death Blight in the course of a normal Elden Ring playthrough, right? And it just kills you. It just kills you. Not like sarcastic, like, oh my gosh, that kills me. Like it actually literally instantly kills you if the meter fills up. So he usually does like one scream and then a pause and then another couple of screams real quick after he moves towards you. And he might cancel out and not do the second set of screams, but he'll always do that first one. So you just want to kind of move away, and then you probably have a little bit of a punish window after he finishes the second 2 if he's going to do it. But do not jump back in after the first one, because if he decides to do the second 2, you will die. Yeah. Number 3 is it's like a standing body slam, just straight down. And the thing about that one is that it usually looks like absolutely nothing until it hits you. Like it looks like he's just standing there, assuming you're standing underneath him. You can't really see what he's doing, right? So he just kind of stands still for a second and then slams down on you. We didn't get a good look at it in this fight. I'm still going to point it out as well as I can. But it's just, it always feels surprising, even after however many Deathbirds I've killed. I don't know. It's still surprising to me almost every time I see it. Because again, he just kind of stands still. He just stops moving for a second. He's actually like moving his arms over his head or something. I don't know. But he just stands still and then pop, you take damage. So next is he's got a straight down peck attack. It's not really that dangerous, right? It's just a little bit surprising to see, and you're going to see it when you're directly underneath him. Again, just like most things, right? And he just pecks like straight down onto your head. He does like a peck or 2, I don't remember. And then again, he can kind of stop from there, or just like the death scream, he can take a step and then do another couple of pecks. Not that dangerous once you see it and roll away from it. It's very punishable, especially once he does like the second set of pecks. You can easily just jump in there and smack his head. But it comes out pretty quickly, so it can be a little bit surprising. And then last, and this is the one that also catches me pretty frequently, because for whatever reason, I forget it. I don't know. Or like the AoE on it is actually surprisingly large. Sometimes when he stabs his weapon forward, he's got 2 different stabs and they look almost identical, But on one of the stabs, he's actually stabbing his weapon like into the ground, supposedly. And then there's a secondary hit, like a secondary big AoE explosion type hit when he pulls the weapon out of the ground. It hits, again, it's a pretty big AoE, hits pretty large range. It even, like, often you would think that it would be safe to roll into him and then even to like roll the AoE and you would be safe and you would get an attack on him. But that usually doesn't work with that specific attack because the AoE is so big. You should just treat it as something that's not safe and plan to not be there when he does it. So I won't be doing too much talking during the fight since we already went over everything, right? But you'll see all those attacks during the fight. We start off here at the War Master's shack. We pass the time till night because they only spawn at night. And then we head over to where he is. We're also going to come back in at the end because there's a little bit of a thing with the position of where you fight him. But we'll take a look at that when we get there. is dead. Thank goodness. Blue feathered branch sword. A great drop. Okay, so we're running over to the right here because there's obviously, you know, giant trolls over here, right? If you go too far over to the right, you can aggro a troll and they will join into the fight, or this guy that's wandering can join in just on his own sometimes. So that'll mess you up pretty good. And then over here to the left, you've got some bats that can join in. The bats aren't really the problem, believe it or not. It's the goats. Bonk. They will... Not a lot of damage, right? But they just come in and mess you up a little bit. The Deathbird will also kill them, but just try to avoid those. You don't need to get those involved if you don't have to. All right, that's going to do it for today. If you are here with me, I love you. Hey, why don't you click that subscribe button? It would make me super happy. We're going to come back for next time, and I will see you later.